Yo, Elliot. Yo, so today we got a question from my bro Dags. He goes on to say, yo, will my height affect my bench, squat, and deadlift? I always see guys that are like 5'8", you're looking at one. Same weight as me, bench, squat, deadlift, but they lift more weight than me. I'm 6 feet tall. So what I'm gonna do in this video is we're gonna talk to you a little bit about how to minimize the effects of your poor leverage, right? So shorter dudes have better leverage, right? We have shorter limbs, shorter muscles, shorter distance to move the resistance. So with tall guys, it's not gonna be as easy, but it doesn't mean it can't get done. There are great strongmen, great power lifters, great bodybuilders out there that are stretched real high. And so they may have to make some modifications, particularly to those three main lifts, right? So you got your squat, you got your bench press, you got your deadlift, that when leverage is an issue, you have to modify your exercise. So let's start with the deadlift first. My favorite exercise. When you do a deadlift in a conventional sense, your body tends to tip forward. So in other words, your center of gravity is leaned over your base of support, and that creates like this like a boon effect, right? Where all the weight is the taller you are, the more of the weight is in front of your base of support, and that makes it a lot harder to lift that weight unless you could really drive your butt and your hips low and drive those knees forward, which, you know, flexibility tends to become an issue as well. So instead of doing conventional deadlifts, you could just really maximize your deadlift doing sumo deadlifts, right? Because what a sumo deadlift does, when you do a sumo deadlift, you stretch your legs out to the side, right? So you can sit a little bit lower. But the amazing thing, the magical part of it, is that your torso stays upright. So you don't have that same boon effect that I was talking about before. You stay a little bit more upright, and therefore you're at a mechanical advantage. So instead of doing conventional deadlifts, switch to sumo deadlifts. That should help your deadlift progression. With regard to your squat, you could do similar, right? With the squat, you could also do like a sumo squat. You could open up your base a little bit more, maintain that center of gravity over your base of support by keeping the chest up. You can also add exercises that minimize that mechanical disadvantage, like box squats, for example, right? So as a taller athlete, you may benefit from doing high box squats, right? Just don't go as low. If you want to go low, you could do things like split squats, right? Or like ATG split squats, where you got that real long stretch with the legs front to back, you keep the chest up, and once again, you're at a mechanical advantage because your center of gravity is not over your base of support, or it is more over your base of support as opposed to when you do conventional type, moves like that. So you could do box squats. You could even do, I like bottom up squats. That basically means you put the bar in a rack, you squeeze your body underneath the bar, right? So therefore you're starting at your lowest position. So you just squeeze your body up underneath the bar, the lowest that you can go, and then you just do a bottom up squat, meaning from the bottom up, right? You just go from as low as you can go, and then you bring it up. And then you could possibly bring it back down. You could do it under control, or you could do it with a little bit of lack of control, simply because you just have that mechanical disadvantage. So you got sumo squats, so you got sumo deadlifts, sumo squats, you got box squats, high box squats, you got rack squats, or like I say, bottom up squats. And finally with your bench press, you can make it so that you have a mechanical advantage, right? If you got really long arms, same thing, right? With the legs, you spread the legs out. With the arms, you bring your arms out a little bit wider, tuck the elbows in. And if you ever see like how powerlifters do, they just it's a very short movement. Even for the tall powerlifters, it's a very short movement. They just bring it to touch the chest. Especially if you're tall, you could even do like a big arch, right? If you're doing it for competitive lifting, big arch, big chest, land up on your shoulders, and then you can hit that bench press. Once again, you can shorten that range of motion by doing rack presses, floor presses, board presses. Once again, all these things, they bring the weight up a little bit higher, so you don't have to go as low. So you could take advantage of all these various little tips, tricks, and mechanical adjustments in order to pound the weight, put some weight on the bar, grow stronger through the movement, but at the same time, not lose out because he got long limbs. I hope that helps, dude. Done.